Hello, this is Manish Patel from the Infinity Trading Group. Today is May 16, 2011. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency market. Before we begin, this is our normal disclaimer. This is to state that everything is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument out there. All charts are either in Thinkorswim or TradeStation. If you have any questions, you could contact me here at mpatel@infinitytrading.com, and that's it. Okay, so let's go straight to the charts. We got a lot to cover. A lot of commodities are pulling back, so a lot of questions in regards to US dollar and stuff like that. So if we start looking and start going for the major currency pairs, remember the left hand side is the weekly time frame, right hand side is the daily time frame. Okay, and we always start by looking at the weekly because it's long term. We kind of want to see what the picture is, and then we'll start looking at the daily. If you look at the weekly time frame, we're basically pulling back right now. It's not a major pullback at all right now. It's a medium pullback. Support levels are going to be 39.06, and then the resistance level is going to be 44.72. So those are the levels you have to watch for, but we are in the pullback phase. If we do break below 39.06, then we're going to enter a major pullback as far as a weekly is concerned. If you look at the daily time frame, right now we're in the cloud. Things are kind of overextended as far as the selling is concerned. So I would probably expect a little pullback upwards and then maybe go downwards, otherwise, or what it may just do is just consolidate a little and then break down. But it definitely does look like we're trying to head down to the 39.06 level very soon. May happen this week or next week, but the next 3 weeks it looks like it's definitely going to happen. Okay. Pound USD. If you look at the pound USD, same scenario as the euro USD. It was bullish trending. It's in a medium pullback right now. Support level is basically 6044. Resistance level is basically going to be roughly around 6445. So not really much anything there to tell you, but those are just the levels there. Okay. Let's go look at Australian USD. Australian USD is bullish trending, still very, very strong. Looks like it's trying to do its minor pullback right now. Minor pullback level is going to be to 1.0474, and then the major levels are going to be 1.0273. It looks like it's definitely trying to get to its minor support level right now, and you could see that from the daily time frame. But if it gets there, then it does have a high possibility of going down to the major one and then bouncing off that. But you have to wait and see exactly once it gets there. Once it gets to the minor one, then it may sit there and pull back up. The key thing we're looking for is if price breaks 1.07700, 700, then this can resume its bullish trend to the top side and continue blowing past the top because it just did a minor pullback on the weekly time frame. New Zealand USD is pretty much similar to the Australian USD. Its levels are minor support level is 77.05, major is 76.17, and it's got to break above 79.32, which is its resistance level, to start resuming to retest the highs and then blowing past that. But if it holds the minor support level 77.05, then it definitely probably will blow past the pivot high and go higher and higher. Okay, US CAD finally be making its move upwards, which has been good for a lot of Canadians. However, it's still very bearish trending. It broke for its minor support level. Looks like it's trying to get to its major support level of 98.65 right now. So time will tell. But you could see from the daily time frame, they're trying to push up, trying to get above the cloud right now. But it looks like it probably will get above the cloud and then start a pullback. Once it does a pullback, then it's going to be key to see exactly what happens. But remember, this thing's been trending for such a long time on the weekly time frame. It's kind of key for this thing to kind of have a healthy pullback sooner or later. So it really needs to break above 98.65, and this may be the moment where this thing does get back to par and then may retest the lows a little later on. Okay, US yen, really nothing there as far as a weekly time frame is concerned. Just consolidating completely. The government's not doing anything to intervene right now either, so it's just kind of hanging around. If it goes down lower, the government may come in and intervene, but right now they're not doing anything at all. If you look at the daily time frame, really not showing any trades at all there. So Nothing there. US Switzy, that's been bearish for a very long time. It's still holding its ground as far as the weekly is concerned. It bounced off its minor resistance level here of 89.45 and bounced off that. And the key is what's going to do. Resistance levels of minor, as we mentioned, is going to be 89.45 as far as the weekly is concerned. The major is going to be 93.08 on the weekly. If you look at the daily time frame, if this thing could hold 87.51 and pull back to that level and then start going up and break 89.60, this thing's going to start a bullish trend to get to the top of the cloud up here, which would be pretty much getting to 93.05 as far as the weekly time frame is concerned, which will be finally getting to its medium pullback, and if it breaks for that, it's going to start entering a major pullback. So it's got a long ways to go to enter a major pullback, but it's slowly progressing there. But it's still very, very strong bullish. So bearish. So I'd be very, very careful. Okay, let's go look at Euro CAD. If you look at Euro CAD, nothing really there as far as a weekly time frame is concerned. Let me shrink this out. Let me put this here. Nothing really there as far as a weekly time frame is concerned. Just comes on back and forth completely. If you look here, this thing's really got to break 39.82 to even start looking at it bullish, and then it's got to break this level here at 36.24 to start looking at it bearish as far as the daily is concerned, but nothing really there at all. Australia, New Zealand. If you look at Australia, New Zealand, it's still bullish trending. It held its major support at 32.19 and then went above its minor resistance level of 34.58. So this thing is still very, very strong, but it's got to start breaking to the top side very soon. If it doesn't, then this thing's going to break down So you probably in about 6 more weeks, this thing's got to break for the top here. If it doesn't, then this thing's going to enter a major pullback and break through the 32.19 level. So time will tell what this is going to do. Let's go look at pound, JBP, yen. Pound yen, nothing really there, as you could see. It's just bullish trending as far. Whoa, what's going on here? There we go. Weekly time frame looks just like the US yen, nothing really there. Daily time frame, nothing really here at all. Everything's going into the cloud, and so cloud consolidation is about to happen. Euro Switzy, we're going to look at that one. This is, if you look at the weekly time frame, it's bearish trending. It's being able to hold its resistance level here at 31.20. It looks like it's retesting the lows here. In the next couple of weeks, if it blows past its lows, this is going to get to a whole new level. And if you look at the daily time frame, it's still very, very strong to the downside. So it does look like Switzy is getting strong compared to the weak euro, and it can sit there and go to a whole new level lower. It does look like it's trying to get up to par, believe it or not, which is way, way down there, but slowly progressing there. But it is very, very strong as far as the daily is concerned. And the daily timing, it's got probably about another 4 more trading days to break for the low. If it does, then it's going to go lower. If it doesn't, it's going to definitely pull back up and go above 27.89 coming up. Let's go look at pound Switzy. Pound Switzy, if you look at the weekly time frame, is still bearish trending too. So Switzy overall is very strong compared to any currencies out there. So just definitely watch that. Let's see before I say any. Let's look at compared to Australia and Switzy. Still strong there, not as much as the others, but if you look at the chart, it's still bearish sentiment. So Switzy is still strong compared to all the other currencies out there. Lastly, we're going to look at Euro New Zealand. If you look at Euro New Zealand, nothing really there as far as the weekly. It's consolidating, but it's at the bottom of the cloud. Here, if this thing breaks below 7,800, this thing is going to start a bearish trend and possibly go retest the lows at 1.70. So definitely watch out for this guy here. Remember, we're expecting a pullback up. It's doing that. We're not sure if it's over yet. It could possibly go all the way up to 83.60, but it could stop here too and start tanking. So time will tell, but this thing's got probably about 5 to 6 more trading days to break down. And if it does, it's going to start a bearish trend, which will start moving across to the weekly time frame too. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and speak to you next week.